What is up, NFC North fans? Sorry about the late start. We were having technical difficulties like, I don't know, Verizon is today. You got a Verizon phone. It's probably not working. Yeah, either way, that's us. That was this show. But we're here. We're live. We got to review a game that happened within the division in the playoffs. And it was almost as good as the matchup in 1947 that we discussed last week, but not quite as good. I don't know that it fully lived up to expectations. Then we got to preview a game that involves the Bears. Yes, the Chicago Bears are one of the Final Four teams in the NFC. Absolutely crazy. I don't know who had that on their bingo card to start the season, but if you did, congratulations. And then we got some offseason things to get to with the Vikings and the Packers. And let me bring the fellas in. We got no Lions representation today. Sorry about that. You know, they bowed out. They stopped making the playoffs. All of a sudden, they're too good for the show. It just, it is. Go DM Dose. Talk crap on his channel. Do what you got to do. But I got my guys here. I do have Nick. I do have Bass. And I do have One Bar. Fellas, so damn good to see you. Nick, we'll start with you, man. How you feeling, brother?
Still got a heart rate of about 130 sitting a couple days later. Game was absolutely electric. And I see a lot of Bears fans in the chat right now. Holy bear down right now. No one, like you said, Jesse, thought we would be in this spot right now. It's an electric feeling. Baz, I do want to say good game, even though you said a game didn't happen when I texted you. Other side. There you go. There you go. Okay, very good. But yeah, man, that is everything that you want in playoff football. This playoffs has been incredible, but I think the Bears game was the best one in my obviously biased opinion, but that game was electric. The city was electric after. No joke. People were partying till, the break of dawn. If you've seen Project X, it was just absolutely electric around Chicago. So happy about the win and already looking at this upcoming Sunday against LA.
Well, Bass, you were on the other side of that, but overall, brother, how you doing?
From a football stance, not too great. I mean, that's just, that's kind of been the Packers over the last 15 years. It's pretty entitled to say, like, hey, so many playoff letdowns because they have been in the playoffs, but it feels like, since 2010, it's like almost every year something like this happens. And for it to happen against the Bears, it hurts, definitely hurts. But I do want to congratulate, of course, the Chicago Bears and Nick. I'm happy for you. I'm not going to root for you. Like not going to root for you at all, but I'm happy for you. But I'm happy for you.
There we go. One Bar, brother. Listen, you just got to sit back and enjoy, man. How you doing?
Yeah, I get to be the third wheel today. We can talk about, our wide receiver getting arrested for the 48th time. I mean, I look forward to maybe talking about that. But other than that, you're right. I got to sit back and watch a hell of a game. Zero emotion. It was a win-win for me. I look forward to breaking this puppy down. It's going to be fun.
Golly. Well, we're actually going to start with you on this One Bar. Normally we only break down the fellas that are involved in the game, break it down, but this is a playoff game and everybody's watching. So I would expect that you were hanging around with a beer and enjoying this one. So just talk to me. What'd you see in this matchup here within the division?
The best part about this is just like the rivalry that is. I mean, clearly it's always been a rivalry, but you could talk about the Ben Johnson handshake and the Ben Johnson after the game in the locker room. As a Packers fan, I can only imagine like the hatred that is pumping through their veins watching this guy do this. Like, I love it, man. It's fantastic, and it's going to be very interesting. And I know we'll talk about when the Bears play the Rams, because I know there's definitely some LaFleur guys over in that Rams locker room. So it's just fun as hell to see that. Also, the Caleb Williams, it's just great. It's fantastic. This is the best division in the league, and this shows why. I mean, last week, it's funny. I said, the only way the Bears win this game is if they play all four quarters. Like, they can't just show up in the fourth quarter. It's not going to work. And that just shows how big of a moron I am, because that's exactly what they did. We all saw it. From the Bears standpoint, they're on the map. They're officially on the map. They were probably on the map before this, but it's such a huge ass win. We could break down the game. Like the Colston Loveland was just a man amongst boys out there. It's crazy to think. To me, the craziest thing for me was I figure that they're just going to have to run the hell out of the ball. And Nick, I'm sure you got it in front of you, but I don't even think they had 100 yards in the ground. And I think a chunk of that was Caleb Williams. So it was just a crazy ass game. It was from the Packers standpoint, like, I mean, 21-3, watching social media, everyone's just like, yeah, this is over. We're moving on. We're looking at whoever they're supposed to play. Like, everybody was already moving on. And then at halftime, LaFleur even comes out and says, I'll paraphrase something as far as, we know they can come back. We got to keep the foot on the gas. And the Packers crapped themselves. It was painful. Like, I actually felt bad for the Packers fans watching this, where LaFleur just instantly went to this offense that was just predictable and vanilla, and he let the Bears do their thing. It was rough. I mean, you can look at the Packers and say, we had all these injuries, and which is fair. But the fact that they were up 21-3, I just wiped that away. Like, this was just a complete and utter collapse and a big ass game by the Bears. Caleb Williams, the amount of times we've seen that throw where he was on his back foot, whatever, falling over, it was fantastic. It was absolutely fantastic. It was absolutely insane. Matt LaFleur, I know, Baz, you could probably speak on this a little bit more, but like, they're working on him to get a contract extension, whatever. Like, as a Vikings fan, I'm glad to see that. I'm not saying Matt LaFleur is not a good coach, but I'm all for the Packers keeping him around. He just craps the bed when it counts, and he did it against probably the worst team that he could have done it against, because Bears fans get to revel in this for at least a year. Bears go out and lose next week. I mean, they're gonna care, but they're gonna have this in their back pocket. So hats off to the Bears. They absolutely whooped ass that second half. I would have never ever guessed that looking at that first half. So and also Colston Loveland, I just got to say it again. Hot damn, man. I'm terrified of this guy next year.
Yeah, man, it was the Bears doing bear things, man. Fourth quarter, it's just like no lead is safe with these guys. And Bass, you were on the other end of that. It's interesting because the Packers started out so hot and they were just moving the ball up and down the field. And then it's almost like they got to a point in the game where they just wanted to play it safe and just keep the ball away. And hopefully it was going to be enough and not be aggressive. And it really came back and bit them in the butt in this game for sure. Talk to me about what you saw from the Packers in this game, in this matchup on Saturday.
Yeah, man. You can't really sugarcoat it at all. I mean, it's just an utter collapse. And again, I want to credit the Chicago Bears. Like, congratulations to them. They played their asses off in the fourth quarter, and football is a 60-minute game. So you have to play a full 60 minutes. The Packers played a wonderful 30 minutes. They played an okay fourth quarter, but that third quarter was absolutely brutal. I mean, even the fourth wasn't good. It's overall a terrible second half. And, you start to question, what is the culture like with this team? I know a lot of people point to LaFleur, and you're right to think that, like, you're valid to think that and say, hey, the Packers need to make a move. I think it's just like the culture around this team. If you remember some of the Aaron Rodgers teams, Aaron Rodgers would get hit late or pushed into the ground, and the whole offensive line would just go after that guy. They had some mean streak to them, where now it's like you see players hitting Jordan Love or pushing him into the ground. You saw it against Denver. I think it was Talanoa Hufanga who did it. And no one cares. Like, everyone's kind of just is like, oh, okay, whatever. Like, the Packers don't have that mean streak that some other teams do, like the Bears have. A lot of Packers fans come on here and bitch and moan about Austin Booker. But here's the thing, like, an NFL defense needs a player that has that mean streak. And the Bears seemingly had that punch you in the mouth mentality that in the second half, kind of like the Lions last year, that you kind of felt from that team as well. And I thought we were getting some of that this season with the Packers, but it really diminished. I mean, this defense really, really, really diminished the moment Micah Parsons went down with injury. And man, the first half, I mean, it was beautiful. I mean, 21-3, the offense is rolling. Jordan Love is on fire. There was no rust at all, which was a big worry into this game. Josh Jacobs looked healthy again. Like, he looked a lot faster than we've seen in a couple months. You had Christian Watson playing, getting some catches, mainly Romeo Doubs kind of being your guy. Your defense was locking it down. I mean, 21-3 entering half. It should have been 24. I mean, McManus is a whole other thing we're going to talk about here in a second. But, going into halftime, a lot of Packers fans truly thought that like, hey, like the Bears could definitely come back. And I don't know if that's just, being a Packers fan or being a realistic football fan, but, a lot of us have that ingrained, whether it was through Mike McCarthy too. And that's why I'm kind of saying it feels like a culture thing with the Packers front office and Matt LaFleur, where you kind of play not to lose rather than play to win. It's like you're up 21-3. Why do you go away from what has been working? Now, obviously, there's adjustments. You have, Dennis Allen making adjustments, Ben Johnson making adjustments, and they did a terrific job at that. But as a coach, as LaFleur, as a team, you also have to make counter adjustments. And it just didn't really feel like they were able to do that. A decent running game in the first half just absolutely collapsed in the second. If I had ChatGPT write up a list of 10 things in order to blow that game, they checked every single box. Like they quite literally did. And I don't want to say it was just the Packers losing this game. Like the Bears came out and they won this game. Both can be true here. It's unfortunate, man. It's like Jordan Love played his heart out. In my opinion, a really good game from him. You're talking about 4 touchdowns, 323 yards, a 103.8 quarterback rating. I know the offense was very stagnant in the third quarter, but man, I made this kind of an analogy. It's like, not analogy. I made this kind of comparison. It's like an 8-year-old on Madden could have seen what the Packers were doing on first down in that third quarter. It's like every first down, they're just running an inside zone, and the Bears knew it. You watched their cornerbacks come and press. You watched everyone commit against the run, and they knew what was coming every single time. And in the entire second half, it's like Matt LaFleur would go back to these very complacent play calls, and then when he really, really needed it, Jordan Love would bail him out. He'd fire a terrific throw to Matthew Golden or Romeo Doubs late in that fourth quarter, terrific one-handed catch. That should have ended the game. But then the next first down, he runs an RPO inside zone, and then Love has to bail him out again with a sick throw to Golden for a first down on third. And then the very next first down, he runs another RPO inside zone that goes for no yards. Man, there's so much to be annoyed at in this game. I could sit here and talk all night, and I don't necessarily want to. You can then point to special teams and Rich Bisaccia and Brandon McManus, who erased, 7 points off the board on relatively easy kicks. I won't say gimmies because it's Chicago. There's wind. But it's like, man, you got to make these kicks if you're an NFL kicker. And our special teams just continues to create blunder after blunder. And so many losses this season can be tied to missed kicks. And so, when you look at this game and you see that, yeah, you held the Bears for under 100 yards rushing, 99 or 93 to be exact. You created 2 turnovers on them. You had 2 interceptions on Caleb Williams, and you held them on fourth down to 2 for 6. How did you lose this game? It astounds me. It's like 25 points allowed in the fourth quarter. And I could be mad at the defense all I want, but here's the thing. The offense did them no favors. The defense was on the field drive after drive after drive, and they were tired. And they kept sticking in their soft cover 3, and the Bears knew exactly how to attack it. They're running posts. It was free inside release. They're running corners to Colston Loveland, and it was open every single time. I mean, it's just unfortunate, man. It seems like it just keeps happening with the Green Bay Packers. I'm sure you Bears fans are loving every second of it. I would be too if I was in your position, no doubt about it. But we kind of have a question of, where do they go from here? Not only with the roster, all the impending free agents, but, coaching. I don't think, I'm sure we'll talk about it more, but just to kind of quickly summarize, I don't think the Packers get rid of Matt LaFleur. They're working on an extension. I don't think they do. Do I think they should make many other adjustments with the coaching staff, such as OC, offensive line coach, game management, maybe some things on defense, such as linebacker? Yeah, 100%. Special teams coach, 100%. But we'll see, because the Packers, in terms of coaching experience, were the lowest, and it's not even close among all NFL playoff teams this season. So unfortunate result to that one. And now we just move on to the offseason.
The Jordash love in the chat is crazy. I gotta admit, Jordash, if you're old enough to know what Jordash is, then it's a crazy, crazy thing to say. I do have to ask you about Jordan Love, though. The final drive, I was watching, and I saw 2 clear drops on that final drive that certainly did not help by any means. But Jordan Love has been in this position before, and being a 49er fan, I remember he had ball in hand with a chance to kind of do things, and threw that pick at the end of that game a couple years ago. But ball in hand again, unable to get it done. How are Packers fans talking about him this week? Fans outside the Packer fan base are going to say what they're going to say, but how are Packer fans discussing Jordan Love this week?
Honestly, all it did was ingrain further that Love is the guy. It might sound weird, but he's second to only Drake May in EPA per play this season. He had his best season as a Packer, and in this game, he didn't turn over the football, right? And in that last drive, we're talking about 2 drops, one to Jaden Reed, which would have got them inside the 20. Maybe he scores. At least he gains more yards and gets out of bounds. Then the Packers have, I think, like 55 seconds and 20 yards and a timeout. Who knows? And then when they're basically, dead to rights on what this game's going to happen, Love fires an absolute missile across the middle in between like 3 defenders. I think the Bears dropped 8. And I think Watson should have caught it. Like, I'm not going to lie, at the goal line. Like, that was, I think he was so shocked that ball got through. He was kind of like, oh, okay. I didn't realize that ball was firing that quick and it got through. Then, you take a timeout. I think that was actually before that. And taking a timeout, and you get to delay a game after a timeout. Like, what are you doing? I don't know, man. It's been like this with the Packers before LaFleur, before Jordan Love. It was like this with McCarthy and Rodgers. I don't know if it's just the verbiage they use or they have to say the entire play call through the helmet where like the Chargers use a number and a play card on the wrist. Like there's difference there. I don't know if that's it, but it feels like it's so all too common that the Packers have to waste timeouts or get delay of games or not get through their checks quick enough so the play clock's down to 2-3 seconds and other teams get the jump on that. It's been all too common over the last couple of decades, and I just don't know why. But yeah, this game, I mean, it didn't tell me anything about Jordan Love or being worried about Jordan Love, should I say. To me, it just ingrained it further that he's our guy. And, when we get our reinforcements back next year for 2026, hopefully build the offensive line up a little bit, I could see an even better season.
Well, speaking of a quarterback being your guy, there was a lot of questions about Caleb Williams his rookie year, and even to start this season. I don't think there's those questions remaining among the Bears fans today. The way that he played, that damn Jordan highlight film that he threw out there, 4th down throw to keep the season alive, the way he was showing leadership / frustration on the sideline, his post-game speech, I mean, everything. I think you guys are fully bought in that Caleb Williams is the man, and he sure did show it in this game. He's been showing it all season long with the game on the line. He wants the ball in hand, and he will deliver. Talk to me, Nick, about what you saw from the Chicago Bears and Caleb Williams.
First of all, just again, I said at the beginning of the show, absolutely electric game. Like this team now has 7 fourth-quarter comebacks this year. And that's just, it all is around Ben Johnson. I know, like, we're looking at Caleb Williams. He's the number 1 overall pick. You can look at all the moves that we did in the offseason, but it all comes down to coaching. And Ben Johnson, the way he has led this team week in and week out to never let these guys get too big of egos. I mean, everyone is very level-headed on this Bears team, which I want to start off with, is that you don't have a guy that's super outspoken. You don't have a guy that's like making, big, issues on the field or making it about themselves. This is a team, and it all starts with Ben Johnson and the mindset that he brought, the culture that he brought. And that is why this Bears team went from 5-12 last year to 11-6 this year, and now 12-6 because of their playoff win over Green Bay this past weekend. He's the first Bears head coach ever to win their first ever playoff game in franchise history as the head coach of the team. Like, that's never happened before. He just keeps breaking curse after curse after curse for this team. And Caleb Williams would have never progressed if it wasn't for a guy like Ben Johnson believing in him. Ben Johnson wasn't going to come to Chicago because they just drafted him first overall and then they brought him in. And, Caleb also had to buy into Ben at the same time. And yes, he is a young guy in the league, doesn't have as much respect, but Caleb willing to work the way that he has so far and the way that he has just put himself together and grown as a leader and grown as a player and grown just week in and week out has been incredible. You don't break the single season passing record in Bears franchise history, not even having a guy with over 1,000 yards receiving without having some progression. And that is exactly what we're excited about here with with Caleb Williams and the Bears. There's so much hope with him because he had 68 sacks last year on him. And then along with that too, he's had 4 different play callers in his first 2 years. He's had 2 different head coaches, a completely new offensive line, all new weapons. Like he is just, practically drinking in from a fire hose. But look what he's done. He's had one of the best touchdown to interception ratios in the NFL. He has the least amount of interceptions thrown in your first 1,000 passes in the NFL, which is incredible. I believe it was only 12 interceptions total. He has done everything that you've wanted him to do, and he's only getting better week in and week out. When you saw that emotion on the sideline when he was yelling, like, guys, we need to be better, we need to do this, we need to do that, that is exactly what you want to see out of a young guy like him. That is exactly what the Bears needed out of Caleb Williams, and Caleb Williams needed for himself too. So you go into this game, you're down 21-3 at half. And the moment that things started to change was not only Caleb getting mad at his teammates or showing that leadership, but also that missed field goal. Because then after halftime was over, it was punt after punt after punt for Green Bay. Baz, I'm sorry to keep reminding you about it, but this is where things changed. And Caleb Williams never took his foot off the gas pedal. He's looking at Ben Johnson. He's wanting plays to come in. He's talking to his players. You've seen a ton of mic'd up clips. He's working with young guys. He's giving the ball. He's spreading it everywhere. And one bar was saying, Colston Loveland was a man amongst boys. This kid is going to be so dangerous in this league. And I'm so happy that we drafted him at number 10 overall. I know at the beginning of the year, a lot of people were like, oh, we should have taken Tyler Warren. No, Colston Loveland's the guy. But how this team just came together overall, just never giving up. And that entire second half, also on the defensive side of the ball, only allowing, 6 points to Green Bay in the second half compared to 21 in the first half, and the Bears just running away with the game in the second half and just winning and winning drives. And we did it without a rushing attack. Bears only have 286 yards over the last 3 games. Ben Johnson called it out today that we are not going to win a lot more ball games if we keep running the ball like that, which couldn't agree more. We need every single yard possible moving forward. We need the running attack to be established against LA, especially with the weather conditions that's coming up this upcoming weekend. But what the Bears did in this game against Green Bay was that they never gave up. Kevin Byard, our all-pro, our Pro Bowler, our leader, our captain, our safety, he came out and said, last year at this time, we would have given up in the fourth quarter, or we actually would have given up at halftime against Green Bay. Instead, this Bears team doesn't give up on themselves, and that's what's so much different because you got Caleb that is out there continuously showing his confidence and growing as a play caller, and then you have Ben Johnson that's supporting him, saying you're built for these moments. And my favorite moment of this entire game came out on Tuesday, so this is obviously today on Wednesday, but it came out yesterday that Caleb Williams in that final drive went into the huddle and said, we are built for these moments. And he said, we are exactly where we want to be, and we are built for these moments. Not that Ben Johnson has been he is built for these moments. Caleb said, we. Leadership is there. The athletic ability clearly is. The Air Jordan throw was absolutely incredible. Just an absolute dot to Roma Dunze. You don't just do that with pure luck. You need to have skill to make that play. So overall, I was super happy with how the game turned out. Dennis Allen flipping that defense in the second half too, obviously big, because the last, 10 quarters, he has struggled tremendously with this defense. Get CJ Gardner-Johnson back potentially this upcoming weekend. He was good to go. But this Bears team showed a lot. And that's why I am so happy with what's going forward for this team. There's a lot of hope for the future. Still a lot of things to work on too, but this team is just scratching the surface of what they have. So that is my TED Talk, and I couldn't be more proud of this team after this weekend.
Absolutely love it. Well, look who made it. He was having a ton of difficulty connecting to his Wi-Fi. It looks like he called in from his phone. Dose, good to see you, brother.
Man, it's good to see you. Can y'all hear me? Do I sound okay?
We got you. Yeah.
Was that the hotel room that you and Bass shared?
Yeah, that's it right there.
It's on the table. You know what I mean? It's on. No, dude, I don't. The weather got crazy here, the last hour and a half, and I'm just cooked. I'm like, all right, I'll just do it from the phone. But so my bad. I'm sorry I'm late.
No, we appreciate you. What were your thoughts watching that in division game, brother? Watching from afar, obviously Detroit's sitting at home. You're just kind of enjoying the game. You don't have to, no pressure, man. Just what were your thoughts watching it?
Yeah, I wasn't enjoying the game. I'm gonna be honest with you. There was none of that. There was none of that. I was very disappointed. I really didn't want to watch the football game, to be honest, but it was just on everywhere. I watched the game. I was surprised. I thought Green Bay would win that game. I think based on the first 2 games that we saw this season, I thought Green Bay would handle business. I thought the way that the game was going, I was like, okay, this is kind of how I expected it. Green Bay got on really quick, and that I thought they were just going to handle business. To be honest with you, I didn't think Chicago was going to work their way back in that game. So I was surprised. Chicago defensively, like, and I'll say this more so, I guess, for Green Bay. Green Bay defensively in this game, that's always the area that I'm always impressed with Green Bay, and I thought they came out strong. I mean, we'll see if Hafley ends up getting a head coach job. That may happen here. But to see Chicago just find ways to convert in some of those big spots was surprising. I didn't expect them to come through in a few of those spots because it was every opportunity Chicago felt like they had. You know, you had the interception when they were like a 4th down and short. It just felt like nothing was really going their way. And I just didn't think it was going to flip. It felt weird. It didn't feel like one of those games that flipped anywhere for me. It just was kind of like a slow burn that eventually Chicago worked their way back into it. So ultimately, I felt like the game being close like it was, like I don't feel much different about either team. I think after this game, I think the lack of Micah is massive, and I think we're feeling that now as we get to this point for Green Bay. I just think they look completely different defensively when they don't have him. It reminds me of last season when you just didn't have a consistent 4-man pass rush. And that's always the vibe that and as soon as Micah went out, I just feel like that's what it's felt like with Green Bay to this point. And I thought that's what showed up in this one, because this would have been the opportunity for Green Bay getting up like they did. You would have thought this game would be over. And I think if Micah was there, it probably would have been over. So that's kind of my major takeaway from it. Caleb did his thing at the end. He came through, made some big-time throws. But even at the end, I thought Green Bay was going to go down and score a touchdown, to be honest with you. They got it back. I thought they'd go down and score because Love played pretty darn well, I thought, for the most part. So just surprising. I thought Green Bay would win the game. I wasn't surprised that it was competitive. But once they got up early, I thought it was going to be over.
Dose, I got to ask you a Lions question, man. This one low-key got me excited / nervous. Mike McDaniel interviewing with the Lions for the offensive coordinator spot, man. I can't think of many places that would be a better fit for his services at offensive coordinator. All those weapons. Talk about a genius mindset. He may not be cut out to be a head coach, but man, that guy is a genius mind when it comes to running the football in particular and dialing things up. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, that's the key to it, right? Like for me, I'm looking at it from that same perspective of I like leaning into the run side again. And I think that for Dan Campbell's mindset of like, and it's everybody's mentality to an extent, but how aggressive he is we have to be able to run the ball and it's going to be play action and how much he's stuck to that. I don't know that there's a better name that you could have out there for that specific element. I think that's exactly what Mike McDaniel maybe does better than any other candidate that's going to be out there this year. Just by the way that he attaches everything. Everything feels so well connected. There's so much movement, and it feels simple for the offense, but confusing when you're watching it on the other side. How much he gets involved with the receivers, and then obviously multiple backs too. There's a lot of things that would excite me. Achane going to Gibbs. He's had the big back, the small back. He's done that in the past. We could have that with Montgomery if we keep it. So I think there'd be a lot of that. My concern is still more of the progression passing side of things. And I hope that, if they made that kind of hire, that a guy like David Shaw will be able to stick around. That way we could maintain some of that. Because I think that if there's an error, you could make an argument. I think we got better there this year than we've been in years past. When it was third down and long spots and we were getting different disguised coverages, we didn't always have answers for that in the past. And I thought we had more answers to that for whatever reason this year than in years past. I think Goff played well. But that's the area that I do wonder a bit. Because I still do think that for the Lions to be at their best, that needs to still be what they're capable of doing. I actually like Mike Kafka, who's interviewing today, I believe it was, for the Giants. That one intrigues me a lot because I think stylistically that one feels very straight down the line. When they played us this year, dude, it was just explosives left and right. He excites me, I think, a little bit more for the fit, but I'll be honest, I was off on Mike McDaniel early. I thought like, okay, it's just everything's gonna be outside. I don't know if that's gonna work for Dan, but his versatility to what I've seen at this point of how he's willing to run the ball, and obviously, as you know, as the San Fran background, like that is something I overlooked initially with the idea.
Yeah, I think personality-wise, he would bring something kind of fun to that building too. Dan Campbell's a gritty guy, a leader. He's kind of, snarling all the time. And not that he's not a fun guy to be around or a good leader, but McDaniel he brings that vibe, man. He has a lot of fun. And I'll tell you a quick story. There was a story between him and Shanahan where Shanahan's pissed off. They'd completed like this big third down play. And he's super pissed off, and he's like, Mike, why the hell did he throw the ball there? Blah, 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 blah. And it was silent on the headset. And then all of a sudden, Mike comes on and goes, yeah, but he completed the pass, Kyle. Like, what are you so upset about, man? Just ease up a little bit. And all the coaches are like, oh, just like going at him. But, he has a lot of fun. He enjoys his job. And he made Tua look good. So he made Tua look good. He could definitely do some things with Goff. I can say that. So
he did. He has some
One
good
bar.
numbers.
He does. He does. One bar. I got a question for you when it comes to coaching interviews. You guys are trying to keep things together, and Flores is a hot candidate. We got 9 teams now that are looking for head coaches. I look at somebody like Flores and say, oh gosh, he'd be a great fit in Pittsburgh. He'd be a great fit with Baltimore. I'm curious to see if he ends up actually getting a job here. Like, what are the thoughts coming from the Minnesota Vikings fans? Are you guys assuming you're going to lose him? And if that's the case, how do you replace him?
Yeah, I mean, I would assume he's probably gone. I mean, the fact that he's even potentially interviewing at Washington for the defensive coordinator job, it's like, what's going on here? Like, why are we letting him do that? I mean, Pittsburgh, like you said, Jesse, makes just all the sense in the world. He was already there for a year. They loved him there. Like they brought him in after everything that went down with him and the league. So clearly that's not a huge issue. They were the first one to bring him in. So that makes a ton of sense. I would assume if I had to bet on it, I would say he's probably gone. Either that or he's trying to drive up his price tag for the Vikings. The Vikings clearly want him back. Kwesi and Kevin O'Connell had their end of year press conference yesterday. They made it pretty clear that they would like him back. But backup plan, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of defensive coaches out there that are definitely going to be available. They got a good guy, Durante Jones, right in house, who's the secondary coach that has been a hot name. He's getting some DC interviews as well.
Matt Eberflus?
No, uninterested. Who the hell would hire him? Has he? Yeah, no way. No, uninterested. I would say Jones internally would probably be the guy. He's been there long enough. He knows the system. And he's been a hot name. But if Flores comes back, it would be a wonderful surprise. I'm just not banking on it.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, we got to get to our sponsor here. I'm bringing Dose here. Got to get to our sponsor, Sleeper. Promo code RTS to get a 100% deposit match of up to $100. You can also get a free $20 play when you use promo code RTS. Link is pinned to the top of the description. Sleeper is the fastest fantasy growing app out there. And Nick, this is all you, man. This is your team involved in the Final Four here. I'm going to let you make the picks and guide me. Remember, it is my money on the line. So, play with caution. All right, brother?
Hey,
but give me a couple picks and what you see.
It's your money.
Yeah, great. Perfect. Good. This is starting out real well, Nick. I really appreciate you for caring. All right, give me, I'm going to scroll through these. You tell me what you see and you like.
All right, what do we got? Luther Burn 2.5. Yup, click that right there. Luther Burn at 2.5.
Okay.
Yup, love that.
Caleb, 220
nope,
in it.
Nope, weather's
No?
going to be terrible this weekend.
Okay. All right.
What do we got right there?
Do we like the less though, or do we just kind of want to not play with that one?
I wouldn't want to play with it because he did go for 361 last weekend. Pretty electric, but I don't know because it's supposed to be like negative wind chills in Chicago, along with that too. Well, he did do 225. No, all right, let's stay away from that one. I'll think of something else.
Okay, all right. What about on the other side, your guys' defense? We think Matthew Stafford can get 2.5 passing touchdowns?
Well, no. What is DeAndre Swift's line right there?
Swift is on the anytime TD. I can do rushing yards. Let me see what Swift's at there. We got Manungai at 36.5, and we got Swift at 55.5.
I like Manungai at 36.5.
Okay, we'll go more there. Caleb Williams at 19.5.
How are you, Jesse? Are you having a good day or a bad day?
No, it was a good day. Are you going to make me lose money? It could get
It's
bad.
going to be a good day. Pound it. He's going to take the rock.
Okay. We do got to get one Rams pick in here just
Okay.
that way we can actually cash in here. So
give me some with Puka.
Higher.
Puka. We're just going more on Puka.
It doesn't matter what
it
it is. It's more.
Just more.
All of it. More.
They may not even give us Puka. Yeah, look at this. They're probably not going to give us Puka because they're like, yeah, we just 99.5. We going more?
No.
Ooh, that's a big number. What about Devontae Moore?
Do less. We're doing it live. Do less.
Well, we can outvote you. Come on, more.
We're going less. Okay, we're going less on Puka. We're going to enter it. Oh, gosh. I don't know how I feel about this. All right, $10 to win 90. Here are the picks. We're going Caleb Williams more on the rushing yards. We're going Luther Burden more on the receptions. Kyle Manungai more on the rushing yards, and we're fading Puka Nacua. I don't know if that's a good idea, but that's what we're going to do because that's Nick's suggestion. You can tail us or you can fade us, but make sure that you use promo code RTS. S. We do have some super chats here to be getting to, so let's get to those real quick. Nope, come on now. All right. Okay. We got Chris Viking coming in, the weekly drop. He says, Packers are garbage. No pack, no. Bears lose. Skull. I feel like that was like a little poem there that we just got. What is that, a haiku? I don't know.
Can always count on Chris Vikings every week.
Yeah, every
$2 to rip
week.
on the Packers.
Yeah, every single time. All right, we got Dylan coming through. Dylan is he's actually a Seahawks fan. He watches us over on the NFC West Roundtable. He's over here talking a little trash. Says, congrats on the Bears on being the +1 in the NFC West playoffs, which is true. There's 3 of us, so there we go.
Snow glove on.
Yeah, dude, my hands are so cold.
It's like Dumb and Dumber. You've had 2 pairs of gloves this whole time, Lloyd. Dylan says Packers earned their LaFleurs for their funeral. Oof. That's rough.
Oh, I don't know about that one. That's a little rough.
Christopher Royal says, rooting for Chicago on Sunday. Go Niners. West is the best. Well, we got an NFC West crew coming in. Dylan says, Jesse, the other hat looked better on you, bro. Just saying. Yeah, the 49ers lost to the Seahawks week 18. I had to wear this monstrosity. I'll show you real quick. Monstrosity of a hat on the round table yesterday.
No.
It's
that's
a
actually
foam hat here. Yeah, it's I'm gonna line it and eat nachos out of it on Saturday as I watch the 49ers beat the Seahawks. Dylan comes back, says Dan Campbell will be running up and down the sidelines wearing Mike McDaniel like a backpack.
That's actually pretty great.
That was good.
That'd be hilarious. Dylan says can't wait for the Seahawks versus Rams NFC Championship. No, this is not happening. It's going to be Bears 49ers. Cheeto says, kind of wish the Packers would have made it so we could knock them out of the playoffs again. All right, well, fair enough.
Is that a Seattle fan?
Yeah, Niner fan, I think, actually. Niner fan.
Because we would have played
getting used to it. Yeah, there we go. There we go. All right, let's I got to bring this one up.
Hey,
here real
Jesse.
quick. Yes, sir.
Can I give a quick shout out to Rick Diaz 1748? He comments every single time saying hi to me. So I just wanted to finally say, hey, Rick, bear down, baby. I just want to throw that out there.
He does. He loves you, man. He's actually a Niner fan as well, but he's in here. He's always trying to get Nick's attention for sure. I've definitely seen it. So you're right. You do owe him that for sure. Glad you said what's up to Rick. All right. RotoWire, get 15% off when you use promo code RTS. And if you are a degenerate, maybe you are using Sleeper like we do. Maybe you're going to fade us. I don't know. Let's see what their picks are. You can go to Daily Fantasy Sports. You can go to Sleeper. Let's see what they think of Puka Nacua. Let's see if we can find a Puka Nacua on here. See if we made the wrong decision.
I should actually show
Feel
on
better.
there.
Guys, I've had some pretty crazy score predictions this year. I've been a little close. So
okay, all right, all right.
That is my
enough.
crazy score prediction.
Okay, all right. I'm not seeing Puka on here, so I don't know if I feel worse about it, better about it. I'm sure he's on here. That's the problem, is that they got NBA and everything mixed in here. But either way, they got their AI algorithm that's going to tell you more or less. Oh, actually, here we go. Let's just do it right. Hey, man. Here we go. Puka, where are you at, Puka?
Where is he?
Oh, man.
He disappeared off the face of the earth.
Oh, there it is. They got him on the list.
My God.
They got him on the list. Look at the confidence meter. They're also not confident in it, but they did take him on the list. All right, perfect. I feel better about this.
I told you.
All right. I'm with you. Okay.
Not my
so
money.
The AI algorithm makes great picks. We'll take it. They've definitely won me some money. There's no doubt about that. So feeling good about it. Definitely check them out. Promo code RTS. Link is in the description for sure. All right. And I got one more for you. This is a new one. I got to add both these guys in. Hold on. You guys were in late. All right. Covered. Download the app right now. It's free to do so. If you're a Bears fan, you should be all in on this one. Use code BALLDON'TLIE. Download the Covered app. You can win a signed Caleb Williams helmet. And here's how it's done. From now through the Super Bowl, the contest is open. All you got to do, you ever played the game like Flappy Birds? They've got games like slots, Flappy Birds, whatever. You get 15 minutes a day to get the high score. And whoever has the highest score when the Super Bowl comes around gets a Caleb Williams signed helmet. And I can tell you right now, the app is very, very new, which means the entries are going to be very low. The chances of you winning are extremely high. There are no obligations. There's nothing tied to it. It's literally free. Go play, download Covered, check them out. They got you covered when it comes to winning a signed helmet from Caleb Williams. They're going to do other giveaways. We're going to have some Packers giveaways, some Lions, Vikings as well. But right now, this is the one that they got. So make sure you check them out. Link is pinned to the top of the chat, actually, not the description. All right, fellas, we got a game to preview. It's the Rams versus the Chicago Bears. Final four right here. This game is going to be a ton of fun, man. I'll tell you what, I know that the weather is supposed to be what it is. This game could get into the 40s, and I'm not talking weather-wise. I'm talking point-wise. This is, if there's one that's going to go crazy, you would think this will be it, so which means it's probably going to be, I don't know, 9-6, as Bass likes to predict. We'll see how this one plays out. So we're going to go around the table here. We're going to start with Dose. Dose, how do you see this one going down? Rams, Bears, Sunday. Who do you got winning this one? Dose? Muted?
Real quick question.
Muted?
What was the
Okay.
weather when San Fran played the Bears?
That one was, well, it was in Santa Clara, so it wasn't super cold. It was fine. The weather was fine. Probably like high 30s, something like that.
We might have lost him.
I think his phone. I think his
Oh.
Wi-Fi went bad again.
Okay, now
Just got. Oh, there he is.
I think
There
I'm
he is.
back. I think I'm
Okay,
back.
we're back.
Hold
We're
up.
back. Yeah, it was like in the high 30s,
I'm
Dose.
back.
High 30s. Yep.
Woo! Oh, okay. So look, that was a crazy scoring game. All right, I'll be quick with it. That way I don't cut up. Nick, I'm sorry. I apologize. This is what I'm going to come back with. Rams are going to handle business. All right, it just is what it is, man. Look, up front, I think they're just better on both defensive, offensive line. If Nick's right, then it's going to be lower scoring because of that. I would lean Rams. Bears offensive line, been impressive. They finished really strong this season, but I trust both trenches for the Rams side just a little bit more. They're downhill. Yeah, write it down, Nick. What's the last one say? I don't know what the last time was, but I am.
You were
I'm gonna
wrong
take
again.
The Rams in this one. Okay. My bad. Look, I might be wrong again, and that might be. But I do like. I think there's going to be explosives. And I think Naylor's right. I think there's going to be explosives. I think the way that the Rams play coverage wise and matching stuff up, like Ben Johnson's going to take shots. I would assume a lot of shots in this game one-on-one. He's going to get explosives downfield. I think this is a weakness of this team. I think it's the Rams secondary. I don't think they're great back there. I think they have some length, but I don't think they're great, and I don't think they're going to match up well with Chicago. So I think it's going to be a lot of points. Maybe not great weather, but I expect a lot of points. I'll go 31-27. Give me the Rams. This going to be fun.
Ooh, 31-27. One bar. Talk to me, man. How do you see this one going down on Sunday?
Yeah, sound like a broken record, but a lot of points. I mean, clearly, like in my mind, the Rams are a better team, hands down. But also, what the Bears have been doing is just like you can't go against the Bears at this point. I'm very curious to see how the Bears bounce back after that win. Like, it was such an emotional high. It's like, how are they going to come back after that? I mean, that's a big deal. And like Nick said, everybody was partying for the next couple of nights. I'm sure Caleb Williams was out there too, having some fun. So we'll see how they bounce back. Like, the Bears have to run the piss out of the ball. They absolutely have to. But I mean, Puka, that 99 yards, that dude could have that in the first quarter. I think he's going to absolutely go off. I don't care if it's -50 or what it is. But what the Bears do have going is that weather. So as much as I think the Bears will be right in it, I can't not take the Rams. I think the Rams, sorry, Jesse, are going to be the NFC in the Super Bowl. So I got 34-31. 34-31. Next week, if the Bears win, I'll come on and say I'm a moron again because I went against them. But
And then you'll go pick against them again. I can't wait. Yeah.
I did pick the Bears last week. I picked the Bears last
That's
week
true.
against the
Okay,
Packers.
fair
But if they win, I'll give you one hell of a standing ovation. It'd be a hell of a victory.
Well, apparently one bar is better at picking games than his Vikings are at winning them.
Hey, what was your score?
that's
One bar.
brutal.
What was crazy? What was your score? I'm writing this down.
34-31.
Noted.
He's got his button.
One bar's a hater. I would never do that.
Bass,
I would never do
Bass, you can avoid the book, brother. You can avoid the book here. All you got to do is pick the Bears. Are you going to do it, or are you going to fade them?
I'd be the most sorry shit if I came on here after last week and picked picked the Bears. Like I'll give them the credit for beating us, but I ain't gonna come here and say, yeah, the Bears are gonna win and then go to the end. No, like no, not at all. And it's that, and also I do think very highly of the Rams. Going into the playoffs, I believe we talked about what teams do you see making to the Super Bowl. I confidently said I see the Rams. Stafford playing at a high level. They have our boy Devontae over there that really helps them in the red zone. Obviously, with also having Puka, they have two good backs, Kyron, Blake Corum. Their defense is pretty solid. Just overall, I believe they're the highest graded PFF team of all time, which take that as you will, of whatever you think of PFF and whatnot. But they're a good running team on offense. They're a great passing team on offense. Again, I think it's going to be a close one. I don't foresee the Rams coming out here and stomping the Bears by any means. But I'm still going to take them, man. I feel like they are the team that's going to represent the NFC. Sorry again, Jesse, but in the Super Bowl. I got very similar to, I think it was one bar. You said 34-31. I was going to go 35-31. So that's wrong with that.
All right, add it to the book. It's funny because you guys are saying sorry. Preseason, my pick was the Rams to go to the Super Bowl. So, there it is. It's you in the book is what it is. I think it just said F Bass is what it said. That's what I read. I don't know.
Nah, you'd never do that.
No, it's just scores and stuff. A little chicken scratch. It is what
I don't even know where my book's at. Season's over. It's probably still downstairs when I got done watching that game. Just threw it in the side of this room. See it.
All right, Nick. It sounds like you're going to be the only one picking your Bears, unless you're not, and you're going to write yourself in the book, which would be a plot twist that nobody saw coming. Talk to me about how you see this game going down, brother.
Reverse psychology, right? I'm just kidding. No, the Bears are going to win this game, and here's why. So, first of all, this team is, never been this confident before. Ben Johnson has shown that he is one heck of a coach, and I'm not denying that Sean McVay is not a heck of a coach. He is. I mean, Super Bowl champion. Rams seem to be in the playoffs every single year. Number one offense in the NFL right now. Like Bass said, take it as you will. One of the highest graded teams ever, according to PFF. Here's what I'll say, is that coming to Chicago, Matthew Stafford is 1-8 when he plays in games all time when it feels like it's less than 20 degrees. He is a dome guy. He plays in domes. That's his thing. Detroit, LA, domes. He doesn't like playing outside. When he does, he's 1-8 in games that feel less than 20 degrees. And yes, he played for the Lions. And yes, he played the Bears before outside. But he hasn't had his best games there. Never. Go and look at some of his best games. None of them were in Chicago when it was snowing outside. So that's already an advantage there. He also has a sprained index finger. He was a full participant at practice today. Doesn't mean that that's not going to have an impact. We've all jammed our fingers before and definitely have been like, man, this does not go away for a while. Yeah, I know he's a professional athlete. I know that he's probably got the best doctors. They're going to shoot him up with some. Doesn't matter. Matthew Stafford's going to struggle. Along with that, too, Dennis Allen finally figured out this defense. Finally. Second half against Green Bay, you see them just shut them down after Green Bay looked like the LA Rams in the first half. They were just going crazy and doing whatever they wanted. Second half, Bears were able to shut them down. Dennis Allen also gets C.J. Gardner-Johnson back this week, it looks like. He also got Kyler Gordon back last week. That shook off some rust. Going to get a lot more playing time. Overall, lot of positives for the Bears coming up here. It is going to be negative wind chills this upcoming weekend. It is going to be snowy. It is going to be nasty in Chicago. And Soldier Field was literally shaking last weekend. There's videos of water in the press box literally shaking. And according to reports that they had to have a crew go look at all the press boxes to make sure that Soldier Field was, sound and able to hold that kind of intensity and that kind of shaking. It's never done that before. And Jeff Joniak, Bears announcer, was like, I've never felt the stadium that electric before. So the fourth phase is going to be an absolute factor in this one too. But coming to Chicago with a team that wasn't predicted to get this far, a team that a lot of people didn't even pick to win more than 8 games this year, what do we have to lose? Every other team, Jesse, you picked the Rams to win the Super Bowl this year. They had high expectations. The Bears did not, and the Bears are standing here right now with a top 10 offense, a defense that was number 1 in takeaways. They were the last time the Bears had the most takeaways in the NFL and the least takeaways in the NFL was 1963 when they won the NFL championship, which if we're bringing out the old stats from the old days like we did last week. This team is clicking on all cylinders. It's fresh. It's fun. People in Chicago are just feeding this team energy, and the team is taking it in and just putting it on the field. They're going to play their hearts out every single time. And that's one thing about this Bears team. They do not give up. That's just the bottom line here. And I think that Matthew Stafford and the Rams and Sean McVay are going to come to Soldier Field. They're going to struggle in the weather. I still think that it'll be a close game, but it's not going to be high scoring like we've all been saying. Like, you got Dose 31-27, one bar 34-31. You got Bass 35-31. I got this one 17-14 Bears. And that one field goal that the Bears get is going to be a complete chip shot at the end of the game. And I've called these crazy games before, but the cardiac Bears are going to come back. They're going to win this game in the fashion that they've done every single time this year. And they're going to go to the NFC Championship. And hopefully, Jesse, I'm hoping they play the 49ers because then you have to come here. And I know that those 49ers are not going to perform well in the NFC Championship. So just dropping that out there and speaking it out loud. But that's what I want. I want the NFC Championship, Niners, Bears at Soldier Field, because this show would be way more fun. And then I have the excuse to come on your show.
Oh, I love it. Hey, you've got the Niners in it. So I already like the take halfway immediately. And yeah, give me the Bears, man. Listen, I think it'd be a fun matchup. It'd be something different. The Bears are a hell of a franchise, a historic franchise. It's been a long time. I mean, I would be nice to feel what it was like in the 80s when these two teams were at the top of their game, fighting it out every single playoff. So let's see that again. I would love that. So listen, I think we got a hell of a Final Four on our hands. I'm so happy that the Bears are a part of that. We'll see if next week we are reviewing a win and previewing an NFC Championship, or if we're reviewing a loss and previewing the offseason. We'll see how that goes. But Dylan comes in and says, what's the panel's picks for the Seahawks 49ers? Okay, let's go around real quick. Dose, how do you see this one? Fred Warner's going to play, I think. Just, keep that in mind, guys. He's coming back.
I would lean San Fran. I would lean San Fran. I love how they're playing recently. They've been awesome to watch. I'd lean San Fran.
All right. One bar?
I can't go Seattle until I see Sam the Man do it, Darnold with the Seahawks. So I'm going Niners, man.
All right, Bass?
I'm the same, man. I watch their offense. I know their defense has some struggles, but when I watch McCaffrey, how they use him in the passing game, I'm just sitting there going like, he's unstoppable. So I don't think they stop him.
All right. And Nick's got the 49ers. We already know he just made the pick, so we love it.
I got 28-10 Niners.
Oh, I love it. I want to say this real quick, too, because there is some, Seahawks fans in here, and they're down here talking trash. It's not just me that doesn't believe in Sam Darnold, right? Everybody wants to see it. For some reason, Seahawks fans are beside themselves that that's a take from me. It's like, listen, can I just see it once where he doesn't just crap the bed and piss down his leg in a big moment? One time, that's all I ask for. Anyways, yeah, I agree. All right, listen, hell of a show, guys. Great to see you. We'll see you next week, same time, same place, Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern. And I got to say it, go Bears, man. Go Bears.
Bear down, baby.